So hello everyone and welcome back to another video on my channel, and today we are doing League One predictions. So it's been a difficult one. The bottom half and the top half of the table, I'd say between, well, not all the top half, I'd say the top 5 was very easy to predict, and I'd say 14th and below was very easy for me to sort of predict. I'm not saying I'd be right, but it was sort of straight off my mind. I'd go there, going there. But then when we started to go to near the playoff places, and especially Blackpool's position, I did almost quite a few bad things for my club. There was a few times when I was putting them in quite low positions, and in the end, I'm not going to reveal that yet, but anyway, so at 24th, I'm starting with Crawley Town. So what's happened with Crawley this year is they've sold out most of the players, and I've seen they've not brought in that many players back. You know, they've not got any players back in return, or they haven't got any players that'll be suitable for this league. So that I reckon they're going to be really struggling this season, and straight bottom for me. That was an easy decision. And 23rd, I put Burton Athletic. Now that was quite an easy one for me yet again. They lost Dino Maria early on in the 23-24 season. I remember when he put a team out in the first game on the last season, and Blackpool won 2-0. I wasn't impressed by Burton one bit at all last season. And I don't know how we lost to them, that 1-0 game. That was awful. So 23rd seemed about right to me. They just got away with it last season. So this season, for me, they are definitely being relegated. And then in 22nd, I put Cambridge United. They were not far away at all last season from getting relegated for me. So this season, I thought they're going to fall into it, and I put them in 22nd. So I might be right, I might be wrong, we'll see. And 21st, most people are going to criticise me for this one, but I've seen on a lot of other people's prediction videos, they have put this team in 21st position. So in 21st, I have put Stevenage. You might go, well, George, where did they finish last season? Oh, they finished ninth last season. You might go, well, how have they finished there? So to me, it's more like they've lost Steve Evans, as much as barely anyone really likes the guy, to be honest. His football is good. He is good with teams and newly promoted teams and teams that are going down, as he's currently managing Rotherham and trying to get them up back to the EFL Championship. So I've gone 21st. They've lost Steve Evans. They've lost quite a few players as well. So I just think for Stevenage, I've seen what other people have said as well, and I want mine to be the most accurate as possible. So I have put Stevenage in 21st. Criticise me all you want. I'll probably be wrong in the end, as I probably will be with at least 90% of these, as they're just my thoughts, and really my thoughts is 1 in a million. So I don't think that it could be correct, but in my mind, I'm putting Stevenage in 21st. Then in 20th, I put Shrewsbury Town. So this is quite, again, quite predictable. They did finish 19th last season, so just one place below. I think they'll be close to the relegation zone this season, just finishing just above it. I just don't think Shrewsbury will be anything impressive this season. Then in 19th, I put Northampton Town. They finished 14th last season. They have got a great striker in Sam Hoskins. So far as I know, they have not lost Sam Hoskins. An absolute brilliant striker. Scored at Bloomfield Road even against us. I think he scored a brace against us. He's an absolute powerhouse. Just because of him, that's the only reason why I'm saying they're going to stay up. And then you've got Exeter City. I believe the manager is Gary Cadwell. I might be wrong with that, but they're a team where you think to yourself, they have a good chance of staying up, but yet they also have a good chance of finishing in the top half of the season. So I've gone for the last one. I put them in 18th position. So people might, go, well, they could be in relegation. Well, they could be. They could also be in a playoff spot, because Exeter are one of those very unpredictable teams. Because at the start of last season, they were pushing for the top 10. I've got to admit, Exeter were quite a threat. Blackpool struggled in our game against them, where it was a 0-0 draw. Matty Virtue, who's now gone to Fleetwood, with that very close chance. So I put them in 18th position. And then you go to 17th, and that's where I put Mansfield. And I've seen some people putting them in the relegation zone, and I'm like, hang on. They are a team that could impress us. As Stockport County and Wrexham, I believe, will. But Wrexham, I think they're going to be a bit overestimated this season. So you'll find out where I've put them. And I could be right and I could be wrong with that as well. But Mansfield put in 17th position. Just feels about right for me. Don't ask me why. They finished third. They were a strong EFL League 2 side last season, finishing in third position, just beneath Wrexham and just above, I believe, MK Dons. So it's been a great season last season for them, and this season they'll stay up, and that's how confident I am for them. And then in 16th position, I've gone with Leyton Orient. So they did finish a lot higher last season. I believe they finished around 11th position. They were pushing for the playoffs. They beat Blackpool back in February. Everyone was going, oh, this team's rubbish. This Blackpool team's got no chance. And we did get a glimmer of hope. And it being snuffed out at Reading. And then the thing is with Leyton Orient, did well last season. But will they take the foot off the pedal a bit like Stevenage, but won't have such a dramatic drop? I think so. So that's why I put them in 16th. And they also do have a great manager. In my point of view, he should be with Blackpool. A great guy is. I forgot his. Oh my God, Richie Wellens. That's it. Yeah, an absolute great manager. And just because of that, I think that's why they will stay out of the relegation zone and be quite clear. He's a great manager, should be at Blackpool. I have no hate really for Neil Critchley, but personally, he's not really a strong enough manager, I think, to just go out there, buy players and be very confident. He is good with the fans and everything, but at the moment he's not a fan favourite. And would it be the time, I think, to poach Richie Wellens for Blackpool? Yes, indeed, it should be. And then in 15th, I've gone with Bristol Rovers. So last season, they finished in 15th position, and I've put them in 15th position. I don't think anything will change, and I think that'll be it for them. I just think they'll go the same, and maybe over the next few seasons, they'll slightly be pushing further up the league. We'll see. And then in 14th, I've put Reading. So they finished 17th last season. They have Ruben Celis, I think that's how you say it, the manager, the Spanish manager. He's a good manager. I think he lifts up the crowd quite a lot. They've had a horrible time with owners. They've just got them out. They're getting new owners in, I believe. So they'll finish 14th. There'll be a team that is slow improving, and eventually you will see them back in the Championship, if you ask me. And then Wigan in 13th position. So last season, they did finish 12th. But I was sort of struggling where to put different teams. And in the end, Wigan just happened to be in 13th. They could do better. I think they could do. But who knows with Wigan, to be honest. They might have another point deduction. Hopefully not in the season. As it's horrible for teams when they get point deductions. It's horrible for the fans. And really what the EFL should do, I think, is just go in there and help the club's situation. Instead of just deducting points off them. That annoys the fans. It just makes the league not as competitive as well. Like when Derby got a 21-point deduction, I disagree with all of it. Should not deduct points. I know from Blackpool's history, the EFL are not good with helping teams. But this season, hopefully, Wigan do get some strength back. Even though I'm not a Wigan fan, I just hope they do. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of Wigan, to be honest. But let's just hope they can get back on the feet this season, because it's sad to see a club in such a state and then just like that. It's just not right, if you ask me. As they did struggle in that relegation with Blackpool as well, so they're a fellow relegation side with Blackpool. And then in 12th position, I have put Wrexham. So everyone will go, whoa, George, Wrexham, surely they'll be in the playoffs. Surely top two, easy, below Birmingham. No, I've just revealed where Birmingham are there, but yeah. So, to be honest, Wrexham, they've done a lot in the past 2 seasons. I mean, first position back in the National League, and then they went straight up from League 2 and straight into League 1, and everyone's going, right, Wrexham, Premier League in a year. Well, obviously it can't be a year, 2 years, but yeah, they're looking at Wrexham and going, they'll be winning the Champions League in 5 years. I don't think so. I put them in 12th. They're going to find their feet in this league. It's a very difficult league, is League 1, as Blackpool learned last season. I think they'll stay down this season, and maybe next season they'll push for a playoff spot. But Wrexham still will be a challenge, still could go higher, but I put them in 12th. And in 11th position, I've put Wycombe Wanderers. They finished in 10th position last season, and to be honest, they could have finished higher. They were on par with Blackpool at Bloomfield Road, I do believe, but I just think they'll finish 11th because of this other club that has arrived in the league, which I'll tell you about now. So you've got Stockport County, just finished first in League 2. They'll push higher than Wrexham, I do believe, and they'll finish in 10th position. So they'll be a strong club. They've got a rich owner. They're getting good players in there. They've got Alfie May from Charlton, so it'll be good for them. No, it hasn't. Birmingham's got Alfie May, actually. No, they've got Callum Connolly from Blackpool. That was it, yeah. I'm all over the place in my head today on this video. Please forgive me. But anyway, I think Stockport will be a good threat and will be in the top 10. And that's what I'm going to say on the matter. And then in 9th, I put Rotherham. So everyone will be going, Rotherham in 9th? Really? Playoffs again? But no, they've got Steve Evans just arriving in. They've just came down. They finished bottom in the league in an embarrassing amount of points, if you ask me. But I'm sure Rotherham will still be a threat in that league. They still will be. But for me, they're finishing 9th. And in 8th, I've put Lincoln City, Michael Appleton's former club. So they finished in 7th last season. And surely now they should be in the playoffs. But no for me, because another club that has arrived from 16th from last season is going to push above them. And that club is Charlton Athletic. So Nathan Jones is the manager. What a manager that is, by the way. They've lost Alfie May, of course, to Birmingham. He will be a presence over there in Birmingham. Honestly, he will be. He will score at least 30 goals this season. So Charlton, they will be pushing for playoffs easily, but I just don't think they'll make the cut. They did finish 16th last season, got a great manager, but for me, it'll just be, finish 7th, go again next year, and that'll be it for Charlton. And in 6th place, it is Blackpool. So Blackpool fans are going to crucify me for this. I was originally going to put them in 7th position, but then I thought about Charlton. I was originally going to put Charlton in 12th instead of Wrexham, and the league looked completely different. I thought Nathan Jones is the manager, surely they will do a bit better. And to be honest, I've been a bit biased with Blackpool. I do not think, to be honest, that they'll finish 6th. I've just put them there, really, because I wanted Charlton. I thought Charlton would just miss out. They'd finish a bit higher. And I just saw Charlton finishing there. And I don't see Lincoln finishing in 8th. But do I believe they'll get promoted from the playoffs? Who knows? But I will reveal the club that I believe will get promoted from the playoffs in a moment. And then in 5th, I put Bolton. Ian Evatt as the manager. Finished 3rd last season. And for me, they're not really a threat this season, to be honest. George Thomason, what a player they've got there at the moment as well. I believe they're still hanging on to Dion Charles. They will be a threat. Of course they will. They'll always be. But the thing is with Bolton, it's been a lot of years. It's been a lot of years playing Barnsley in the playoffs every year. It's a lot that's taken a lot out of them. So I do think Bolton will finish 5th. It'll be close. It'll be tight. But yeah, I just can't... I'll reveal who goes up from the playoffs, but I just can't see it for me. I just can't see them pushing for top 2 again. And then in 4th, of course, I put the team that finished 23rd in the EFL Championship, Huddersfield Town. They will be a threat, of course. They'll be a tough team that will be pushing for the top 2. but they won't make the cut. They have got Chris Maxwell in there, old Blackpool player. Will he be their number one this year? Very well could be, with him being in League One. But then in third, I've gone with Peterborough United. So, most people said they're falling out of the playoffs. I said last season when I did those game prediction videos, I said, oh, Peterborough have lost all sights of promotion this year. But no, I think they'll be in third position, and that's all the playoffs. They've been announced, and they have got Darren Ferguson, I believe, still in there, so he's a great manager there, by the way. And in second, another, possibly, I'll probably get crucified a million times from this video, I put Barnsley in second, which leaves Birmingham at the top, of course, so I gave you that away earlier. But yeah, I do think Barnsley in second. They'll be a tough team, of course they will be. Barnsley, great team. They just struggle. They have lost a few players. A bad player, apparently, Williams, I believe, yes. They have got some great players, though, and they will be pushing for it. I do believe so. And I've put them in second, just making the cut, though. And in first, don't even need to mention. I'm sure you know the team that I'm on about here. They've got Alfie May, haven't they? An absolute brilliant striker who Blackpool should have been poaching, but of course they won't spend the money at all, will they? So they will be a great team this season. They did lose Wayne Rooney. Oh my God, if they kept hanging on today to them, they'd have got 100 points in my opinion. But yeah, that team, that blue team, Birmingham City, they'll storm the league. Mark my words, they will storm it. Absolutely undeniable. So then, my playoff winner for 24 to 25. So in the first leg, it's Peterborough versus Blackpool. And in that one, I do believe, and I'm sorry, I think Blackpool will win that. I think Blackpool will beat Peterborough in that, to be honest with you. And then Huddersfield v Bolton, Huddersfield all day long. And then it gets to the final. And Blackpool have only lost once in a playoff final before. And I'm going to get crucified twice. I'm going to say Huddersfield do it. I just can't see Blackpool at all making the cut. I think they will beat Peterborough, but no, they won't do it. They won't make the cut. But anyway, that's my prediction. So teams going up is Huddersfield, Barnsley, Birmingham. Teams going down, Stevenage, Cambridge, Burton, Crawley Town by far. So that's it. So that's my predictions. And I'll put them on the screen there now. Should be on. We're there. So that's my prediction. And God help Blackpool. They'll beat Crawley Town. I'm going to leave my prediction here now. Blackpool 2, Crawley Town 0. And that's my prediction for Saturday. And I'll see everyone in the next video, which might be very soon, as tomorrow or later on today, or it might all be out before this, I'll do a preview video. So anyway, I'll see you in the next video.